We're going to remove the door panel, the interior door panel on a Del Sol. We need a Phillips head screwdriver. There are 4 screws that need to be removed as the first step. One is behind this little plastic flap on the inside of the interior door handle, one there. There's one behind this cap right here. If you still have that cap, just pry this off. There's a screw inside there. There's a kind of plastic retaining clip screw right here that you want to undo so you can pull this clip out. And then the last one is right on the edge right here. Inside this piece of plastic trim, there is another Phillips head screw right in there. And this one, you probably need a short screwdriver, like a stubby, because you don't have a lot of clearance there to get that Phillips head in there. So remove those 4 first. Once you've removed those screws, this piece of plastic trim piece, you'll just slide out and hold on to that. And then you're going to work your way carefully around the edges. Start at this corner and just use your fingers and just gently work your way around. And you're going to pop out all of the plastic clips that go all the way around, all the way to this front edge over here. After you've popped all of the clips around the edges of the panel, we're going to take this door handle and you're going to slide the entire assembly towards the front of the car, and that will disengage it from how it's locked in inside. There are these plastic clips here, which again might be broken on yours if somebody forced it off. Interior door handle has these little plastic kind of hooks which are inset in this little channel in the exterior door part of the car, so that's why you have to slide this forward. Don't just try to force it off. Now that it's off here, we're going to gently remove this panel. What we're going to do is just kind of pull the whole thing up, and that will pull this out of this channel here by the window. That's the only thing. It's just hanging by that right now. Pull it up, but we're going to still hold and suspend its weight because I'm going to show you there's some wires inside that we need to disconnect before we do this fully. After you have the panel pulled up out of that window channel, you're going to kind of tilt this door handle piece so it can slide through this hole nicely, and try not to disconnect any of the rods and cables back there. Then you're going to see, once you've done that, that on the back side here you have definitely those 2 green connectors, which will be your power windows and power locks. Power windows and power mirrors. And then if you have power locks, you'll see that there's another cable there. So we're just going to disconnect all the wiring harnesses right there. Now the panel's off, and you can mess with whatever you needed to mess with in here, whether it was reconnecting your door rods or your door cable. When you reconnect the door and put it back on, make sure you connect all the electronics under here. Sometimes it's easy to forget that in a rush, and then you'll be like, why are your mirrors and your windows not working? And my second tip is, before you attach anything, do this one first. That screw hole is kind of deep in terms of how far you have to get in before it starts threading, and it's very easy to just drop the screw and then it ends up inside your panel, and if you'd already snapped everything in and screwed everything else in first, you got to undo it all. So that one I go for first, and once that one's in, then everyone else is not a problem, and you don't have to worry about those screws falling through. My second tip for you when you're reassembling this is to roll down the window before you do everything else. It's possible you might have messed up the door rods or the lock mechanism, making it difficult for you to open the door. So if you roll down the window, it just gives you another way to reach over and manually mess with the door locks or whatever if you had a problem. When you reinstall this interior door handle, just make sure you get both of these plastic clips, there's one here and there's one down below, into those little channels, and it should go straight in, and then you're going to slide everything to the left and it's going to lock into place. And then you'll do the screw in the middle after you've done that. Don't just force it in there. Finally, just work your way around the edges and pop in all of those clips until you hear them snap into place. Make sure you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws all reinserted, and your door panel is back on.